Oh my goodness. Why is it so hot here? Alright. Alright. I'm gonna start door dashing again soon. Probably go for a couple more hours. Thought about doing Instacart, but my Instacart apparently needs to be reviewed. So, whatever. Guess I won't be doing that. Yeah, so my last live ended because the phone died. Oops. Happens. I've ended. Hello. How is everybody today? We are driving to wherever, whoever DoorDash is, picks the DoorDash. I don't know yet. Last I looked, this area was dead. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna drive towards like Middleborough area, at least for now. Yep, set it up to navigate. Let's go. Let's blow this popsicle stand. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. I'm tired. But I try to make as much money as I can. The next. Oh no, I still have the hand warmers in my pockets from earlier. But yeah. I have to get my mom her car back at some point, so I talked to advising. Hopefully it's straightened out. Don't know yet. I was waiting for an email because I was told I was going to be CC'd on an email about signing up for classes, but I have not heard back. I mean, I didn't see last I checked my email, which was about 15 minutes ago, I still hadn't been CC'd on an email, so I don't know if I'm going to end up CC'd on an email or not. I may not be in classes. I don't know yet, unfortunately. So I have to keep checking my email. But I'm not sure. And then while I was here, I also grabbed my toolbox because it was no longer where it usually was. It was moved onto like some rack, and I was worried that they were gonna take it and cannibalize it or some shit. I don't know. So I was like, well, I will take my mom's car. She's probably gonna be pissed about that, but I don't know. I don't really have anywhere in my car to stick it right now. So maybe she'll let me put it in her closet. I don't know. Not really sure. I don't want to stick it in my storage unit because there's not much space in there. I mean, I literally got like a 2 foot by 3 foot storage unit, so it's literally not much. It's not much space because I have too much stuff in there. It's not much space because there's literally not much space in there. So it's, it's what it is. How's your life going? It's going. Um, things have been a little rough lately, but trying to get stuff straightened out and get things back to normal-ish.
did this horrible thing to Scott's wife and to Scott's son and to their grandson.
And when he started, it was quite the job because there were over 30,000 pages of various documents related to Scott and the Lacey Peterson case. They looked through Scott's whole history going all the way back to elementary school, and they weren't able to find any instance of Scott committing a crime or being bad. I mean, people seemed to really like him. His parents said he was just such a good kid.
He loved to hug and kiss and very affectionate. Just a really kind, sweet little guy.
Never in trouble, really quiet.
He's too good to believe.
Scott's parents have gone public to say that they believe that the police here
Giving him the
bungled
go
this
ahead, but I'm
investigation.
still
The
coming.
police did a lousy investigation. They should go back and look at it again.
I mean, there were quite a few people who were supporting him. His family's always supporting him to this day. Now, to this day, no one knows exactly what happened to Lacey or how it happened. But police started to put together a theory. They believe that Scott actually killed Lacey on the night of the 23rd. They believe that he tied anchors.
If you weren't part of the live stream earlier, I've been listening to Kendall Ray's YouTube channel. So a lot of true crime stuff. It's pretty interesting.
On May 4th, which was Lacey's birthday, the city of Modesto held a memorial.
Others don't enjoy it.
It was beautiful, so much support, and kind of let the family get a little bit of closure to this. Scott's family did not attend the memorial, and Scott's mom actually wrote a statement saying, "For the dignity of the memorial service and out of respect to Sharon and her family, we will not be attending the memorial service. We will have a private memorial with Scott." And they probably just didn't go to
My phone doesn't want to charge.
media or people there. All right, so jumping into the trial phase here.
Is that correct, Mr. Peterson? Pleading not guilty to the 2 charges of murder plus the special, denying the special allegations.
That's correct, John.
The biggest issue they had with the trial was getting a jury that didn't know what was going on in the case. I mean, this was major news. People had major bias against Scott, and they had to find some people that didn't have any bias at all. So they moved the trial to Redwood City, and Redwood City is closer to San Francisco than Modesto, and San Francisco is like the media hub for California, so it made it easier for reporters. It was difficult. Like, even there, 50% of the people who they interviewed admitted that they thought Scott was already guilty. And then they had a lot of issues with people lying, like knowing that if I say I think he's guilty, I'm not going to get in. And they definitely had bias against him still, but kind of were, trying to mask that. So it was a really difficult process. So June 1st, 2004, the trial began. Now, there were no cameras in the courtroom, which is unusual. A lot of high-profile cases have cameras, Casey Anthony, O.J. Simpson, but there were no cameras in this case. The prosecution basically said that Scott's motive would have been to not be tied down anymore, didn't want to have a child, maybe wanted to be free to date other women or start this serious relationship with Amber. So one of the biggest witnesses in this case was someone that they brought in from the defense side, and this was a computer forensic analyst. He claimed that at 8:40 a.m. on December 24th, when Lacey disappeared, someone was on the Peterson home computer looking at sunflower umbrellas and women's clothing. Now, Lacey loved sunflowers, so a lot of people thought this was probably her, unless it was Scott pretending to be her. But this was a really big deal because this, if it's true and that was Lacey, it would completely discredit the police's theory of her being killed the night before, because it shows that she was awake and doing stuff that morning. Now, a lot of people bring up the argument that if Scott really did get on the computer trying to make it look like Lacey was on, why wouldn't he have brought this up? Like, she was on the computer, look, here's proof. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So the timeline's now starting to get really fuzzy, and basically it would mean that if Lacey was on the computer, Scott would have had to kill her like immediately after she was on the computer in order for this timeline to work out at all. He would have had to kill her, clean up all the evidence, bring her to the San Francisco Bay in the middle of the day, and a lot of people just thought this didn't make a lot of sense. And it does seem a little weird. Like, I've definitely had my questions with this, and I know there's going to be controversy in this case for sure. There's going to be different opinions, and I'm not even sure where I completely stand, to be honest. But at this point, the prosecution was starting to look really stupid. I mean, they were so sure that she was killed the night before, and this really threw a wrench in things. Another huge piece of evidence in this case was these anchors that Scott would make. Now, a lot of people that work with boats create their own anchors just out of cement. They just let cement harden and use it as anchors. And Scott had this kind of process going on, and they found it, and they were like, well, here's the proof.